Welcome to the part 6 of this ongoing playlist on creating an online snacks ordering system with ASP.NET 5, Razor Pages and Visual Studio Code. And in this part, we'll be dealing with the forms. So this is the part 6 and it is built on the previous part 5, which was built on the previous part. So it's all built upon one another. So I strongly recommend that you visit all the 5 parts before coming to this part. And if you like my channel, please do subscribe and click the bell notification icon and share it with your friends and put your valuable comments. Now, the basic e-commerce site needs to be able to fulfill orders at the minimum. You need to collect the ordering person's name, contact details, and shipping address, etc., which you do in a form. So in this lecture, you will add a form to the order page. You shall also see the form validation in action, where validation ensures that the form is valid and complete for order processing. So back to the Visual Studio Code. So first of all, we'll add the style declarations to the site.css file, so which is found under the content root www.root/css, and we'll change the CSS file to look like so. This is the original site.css file under content root, and I have added some extra styling information over here for processing our form. Okay, now first of all, these first few properties like order process, and these are all you can say that they are cosmetic, but these 4 properties, input validation error, form control.input, and field validation error, they show something about the validation. They help identify the location of field validation errors easily. Okay, now we'll edit the order.cshtml.cs file. So we'll be using attributes, so attributes for validation, which we'll soon see. And let's see, using statement for using attributes, we will be using system dot component model dot data annotations. Okay, so those of you who are familiar with the data annotations, you are already you know this namespace need to be used. Okay, and next change will be a bit of a typing, so I will just put it from my clipboard again. So this was our order model class, which derives from the page model class. We have built it up to this stage. Now let us change all of this to make it compatible with our lecture. Okay, so now I have added this component model dot data annotations, and I have put one bind property supports get true. So basically this bind property, actually it is supporting data binding. By default it supports the post type of attribute, but here we are saying that when retrieval through the ID, it should support the get, so it should do the data binding. And public product. Okay, and here for this particular order email, product has got no attributes, and this has got a bind property, and it has got a email address. So email address field will be validated, and it is required. The email address field you cannot keep empty and get away with it, and it will give a display your email address. Okay, and similarly for the order shipping, which is also a required field, the error message will be please supply a shipping address. Okay, and this will be displaying name as shipping address, and then this will be required field with an error message if you don't supply shipping address, and it will display name as shipping address. And similarly, this is display is an order quantity. For order quantity, which is an integer, it is originally set to 1, and it will display the name as quantity, and we'll see all of that in a moment. So now the system.component model.data annotations, this directive brings the data annotations namespace into the play. This namespace includes a number of attributes, some of which are used to decorate the properties that have been added to the page model. So that is what I've just covered. Now let's come to the order view or order.cshtml razor page. So far we have got this one where you have got an order process ID. This is an ordered list with a few list items. Step 1, step 2, step 1, then number 2, step 2. Step 1 was choose item, and then it was a detail submit, and then it was receipt. Okay, and you had something like that. Place your order, model.product.name. So that was all, and you don't have any details to be filled, which we'll be now doing through a form. So let's put this below the bottom of the this razor view. Place your order. So I put a form, method is post. Okay, these are all the decorative classes through the your bootstrap. This is the image source, this is the thumbnails, this path, relative path to the thumbnails, and which is a particular class, image fluid, image thumbnail. And alt is actually, this is an attribute which actually shows the alternative to if the figure is somehow, if the image is not available on that path, or it is not showing, it will show an alternative text. And also you can see that label ASP for, input ASP for, ASP validation for, these are all tag helpers, because these tag helpers are used to render the labels, inputs, and validation messages, and page model properties are passed to the ASP4 attributes on the input tag helpers. The input tag helpers render the correct name attribute based on the property, so that model binding works seamlessly. Any values assigned to the properties are assigned to the input. The input's type attribute is generated according to the data type of the property. Now the code, this code, as you can see, it ends with a block of JavaScript. Now let's delve onto the JavaScript code for a bit. Now, yeah, as you can see that this is at the end of, this is within the razor page, razor view of order page, order.cshtml, and you've got a function over here, anonymous function, and here a price variable is declared, which is pass of, it is passed into float, and the value is got from the text value of the hash order price. Hash order price means order price ID element. So order price ID element is this span class order price, and it is evaluating, this is actually writing the order price from model.product.price.toString after putting it to string. Okay, so, and it is fixed to 2 decimal. Okay, now similarly the total price is got from hash order total. So order total, where is the order total? Order total is this span class, and this is also getting the price. Order total is also getting the price with the same computation at model.product.price.toString. Now the difference is, if you run this application, you'll be able to see what I am saying. Now here I have ordered this fish cutlet. Now I am only concentrating on this quantity field. So this is the quantity 1. So quantity multiplied by the price, and that's how it is made over here. Now if you change the quantity, the price will automatically be multiplied by the quantity to give us the total price. Okay, now here this part is coming from here, just above. Okay, so input, this is the input element, input ASP for. So this input element is actually, it is an increment element where you can change the value, numeric value 1, 2, 3, 4, or even negative value you can give. This multiplied by the order price. So order quantity multiplied by the order price will give you the order total. that is the equal to sign which appears over here. So this, what I am saying is order quantity into, this is 2 into unit price is the total cost. Okay, so this will change. Now this part is actually managed by this JavaScript. So here I have already explained up to this part. Now this order quantity on change, once the order quantity is changed by the up and down arrow, then this function is triggered. What happens is that, this in a very var quantity, you get the order quantity dot val, that is the value of the order quantity. It is passed to integer, and if the quantity is less than 1, or if the quantity is not there, then the quantity is fixed to be 1, assigned 1. So this is order quantity dot val 1 and quantity becomes 1. However, if it is quantity dot string is not equal to order quantity dot value, these two, this equality is not valid, then order quantity dot value is quantity, means it is the order quantity is the quantity, that is separate from that is not 1. Okay, and the total text is equal to $sign appended on price into quantity. That means the total text, the total price will be evaluated by the multiplication of the price into quantity, number of elements for that, and fixed to 2 decimal places. Now next you need a handler method for processing the form. So we'll add a post method also in the order.cshtml.cs, like so. Okay, like this on post async, and I will just save this, Control S to save this. So it will be also of a task type, which with an action result type task, and the product will be awaited because it is an async operation. So it will be awaited on the database.products.find async with ID supplied. Okay, and if model state is valid, then it will be redirected to page order success. Otherwise, the same page will be, order page will be returned back for validation. And this ID that is passed is this ID. Okay. Next is, now in order to acknowledge the success of the order, now we will create an order success page with this command. And result page was created successfully. Okay, so let's see, let's bring this Explorer again. So where is our order success? So order success.cshtml, order success.cshtml.cs page. So we'll change the order success.cshtml page to this within this code section. That is all right. This part we'll leave as it is for the time being, and we'll copy it over here. And save everything. So order confirmation. So it has got just 3 steps actually. It's an order process. First step is choosing the item. Second step shows the details, and third step is submit, and then it will receive an order confirmation. Now it's time to test the application once again by .NET Run. The application is running, so click on, you can follow this link, HTTPS control, and follow this link. It will bring the server. So now how it looks like now, and if you want to order anything, say for example fish cutlet, it will come like this. So choose item, second details and submit, and then third receipt. Now if you wish to place the order without supplying anything, any of these fields, your email address, shipping address and quantity is automatically fixed. So you can only change it, but you cannot leave it without filling. So, and you cannot make it negative. Okay, it will start from 1 and go up. So it will be this validation is in effect. You can see your email address is required, please supply shipping address. So these are the server side validation. Now if you write any email address and shipping address and then place order, then it will come to the order confirmation page. Now there is final one thing, that is a client side validation. This is what I showed was server side validation. So let's stop this application and close this application and stop it by Control C. And client side validation is included by default in Razor pages, but it needs to be enabled. You do that by including the Jquery Validation and Jquery Unobtrusive Validation libraries in your page. So the code for including these scripts is already available in a partial named validation scripts partial.cshtml, which is located in pages.shared folder. So if you look into pages shared folder, you got validation scripts partial. So all you need to do is to enable it. So how do you enable it? So I have copied the code. So just you put it over here in the CSHTML page for the order, partial name, validation scripts partial. Okay, Control S to save it. And now if you try to submit the form with the missing values, the error appears without the form actually being posted through the server. And if you provide values that satisfy the validation, you should get the order success page.